Energy and enthusiasm are not just for the young gals. Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Women Over 40, where we elevate our mindset and trade hangovers for higher consciousness. And today, we're going to get some enthusiasm, some youthful enthusiasm going. I'm Becca Jacobson, and this is a snippet. Welcome to Snippet Land, gals. If you're new, oh my goodness, welcome home. You're over 40, you're struggling with alcohol. This is where you belong. You made your way home. Welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are coming back for your snippets, thank you, my dears. I really, really love you for that. I love you for that. Hey, you know, we're always talking here about emotional maturity, right? About growing up. But I don't want us to confuse that for being sober or somber. In fact, I don't like the word sober because it implies boring as hell. You know, the phrase sober as a judge. I don't want to be sober in that way. In that sense, sobriety or being sober is not referring to alcohol. It's actually referring to your personality, to be a very sober and serious and professional person. I shall behave myself, you know, that kind of deal. Well, sure, we got to show up in our professional lives a certain way, but I really don't think that this best chapter that we're building includes that kind of soberness. We want to have a youthful enthusiasm for life, some energy, some playfulness, having a childlike curiosity. These are all huge words, aren't they? And these are things we start to lose, especially when we struggle with alcohol. Alcohol just rips all your enthusiasm for life right out by the roots. And to have enthusiasm and some childlike wonder, some curiosity, oh my God. I don't know about you, but when I finally got to the end of my drinking career, I was just a worn out old cynic. I think cynic is the best word to describe me. You can also include in there a worrier. I was full of regret and full of shame, but very cynical. Just, yeah, whatever. What's the point? Life sucks. The world sucks. The economy sucks. Everybody sucks. I was just really negative, need I say more? And that's really the opposite of enthusiasm and childlike wonder and curiosity about life and about the world. But I can tell you this much. In my journey here in sobriety, which is creeping up on 8 years, that's what's happened to me. That's part of making this the best chapter of your life. Part of it is suddenly getting some wonder back into your life and wondering, what is this all about and what's possible? What is possible with the human spirit? Surely it can't just be this. There's got to be more to it, and we can get some enthusiasm and childlike wonder for life. Doesn't that sound exciting? Well, if you're struggling with alcohol, it might not sound exciting. It might sound exhausting. You might be like, oh my God, Becca, I just want to not drink. Don't ask me to start doing mental cartwheels as well. I get it, my dear. I understand. You're probably very tired. But let me give it to you anyway as something you can tuck away for the future, because this really is something you can look forward to when you come on this journey. I want to give you a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, an amazing American philosopher and writer. Here's what he wrote about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines of success. When you do a thing, do it with all your might. Put your whole soul into it. Stamp it with your own personality. Be active. Be energetic. Be enthusiastic and faithful, and you will accomplish your object. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. I know, my dear. As I said, if you're struggling and you're wore out from alcohol and the battle and failing over and over, and you've got some shame and regret and, dare I say, some cynicism floating around, if you're anything like I was, hearing that quote, I don't know, it might have made me, it probably would have pissed me off, to be honest, because I was just so wore out by, I'm 52 years old back then, 8 years ago, and I'm wore out. I don't want somebody nagging me to be energetic, enthusiastic, but just stay with me, please. Stay with me, my dear. You don't have to do this today, but just let me say it for you, and you can file it away as something that you can look forward to. This is our life and our only life, as far as I know. If there's more, great. But for now, this is what we got. And I've come to the conclusion that for crying out loud, we're going to live this sucker and we're going to live it to the fullest and we are going to find out what's possible. And that's why I love this quote so much. Be active, be energetic, be enthusiastic and faithful, and you will accomplish your object. And that's why no matter how tired you feel today, no matter how much cynicism alcohol has given you, no matter how wore out, no matter how many times you've failed, remember that if you're faithful, you can accomplish your object. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And that's what I want to give you today in this snippet, but overall in all the snippets. An enthusiasm for sobriety, not the sober kind. Sobriety meaning alcohol-free living, which is a much better phrase. I want to give you enthusiasm for that. I want to get you excited about the prospect because for almost all of us, the prospect of living alcohol-free is not exciting. It's terrifying. And when you're terrified of something, how in the hell are you supposed to approach it with enthusiasm? That's my job. That's why I'm here. I know you're afraid. But I also know that it won't last. I know that you can feel that fear, you can face that fear, and you can do it anyway. And when you do, I know that if you just come on this emotional journey and don't just quit drinking. Now, if you just quit drinking, I can't guarantee anything. But if you come on the journey that I propose we all go on, that I talk about here a lot, you will get enthusiastic, energetic, you'll be active, you'll be healthy, you'll get some youthful enthusiasm for life back. And I swear to you, nobody was more cynical and jaded than I was. And listen to me, I sound like Pollyanna. What can I say? That's what happens when you do this journey and you do it with your whole heart. The end result is a youthful enthusiasm for life. Let me give you Emerson's quote again. Enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines for success. Now, let's just pause there. We want success in what? Well, in all sorts of things, but in the short term, in the immediate term, what we want success in is not drinking. We want to live alcohol-free. So that's why I want to infect you with enthusiasm today, because it is one of the most powerful engines of success. That's the first line of Emerson's quote. Enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines of success. And so if you're approaching your alcohol-free life with dread and fear and, oh my God, this is going to suck so bad, and how am I going to do it? It's going to be painful. I'm going to fail. And all those fears that we all have, it's going to be really difficult. But if I can get a little germ of enthusiasm into you, then you have a powerful engine for success behind you. So whatever you do, keep getting your snippets because that's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm here for, my dear, to remind you that there is beauty behind this and give you some enthusiasm for it. And that's from what I hear back from women, I'm succeeding. Women will send me emails. They'll respond to my emails and they'll say, thank you. I feel like I can do this. That's what I want to hear. So enthusiasm is one of the most powerful engines of success. So try to muster some up today, no matter how beat down you are by alcohol. Try to get some enthusiasm. And let's move on in the quote. He then says, when you do a thing, do it with all your might. Put your whole soul into it. Stamp it with your personality. Be active, be energetic, be enthusiastic and faithful, and you will accomplish your object. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And my dears, alcohol-free living is great. It is a great accomplishment and something to celebrate and enjoy. Now, when he says, when you do a thing, do it with all your might, that is why I say to you that your journey requires support. When we try to do it alone, how the hell are we going to put our whole soul into it when we're trying to do this alone? All we're going to do is get beat up by the voice of alcohol and dragged back into the pit because we don't have another voice saying, hold on, that's not what we're doing here. Here's no, hold on a second. That is what I do and the women in my group do. We nurture each other and help each other to stay enthusiastic on this journey. So when you do a thing, to do it with your whole might is to say to yourself, I want to do this and I want to do it right. And that means I'm going to get the support I need. No, it doesn't have to be me. I never say that here. Find the right support for you, but for crying out loud, find it, grab onto it, and do it with all your might. Now, if you're a 40-plus woman struggling with alcohol, which I assume you are, you're here, this probably is the best path for you because this is tailored just for you. But if it isn't, that's okay too. Find your path and do it with all your might. And as Emerson says, put your whole soul into it. Commit to it. Invest in it. Time, money, energy, your heart. Put your whole soul into it. Stamp it with your personality. Be active, be energetic, be enthusiastic and faithful, and you will accomplish your object. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. My dears, attack your alcohol-free life with enthusiasm. Put your stamp on it, and you will make this the best chapter of your life. Just a quick reminder, the Sacred Mirror is open. The link is in the show notes. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.